All right, prep chapter section 2 brings us a little bit back to the fun days of pre-calc where we graphed almost everything. This is actually the easy stuff, just linear, no parabolas or rational equations, anything like that. So, and here's basically a review of Algebra 1 and geometry. The general form of equation, ax plus by plus c being a constant. So you could have anything 2x plus 3y minus 5 equals 0. That would be the general form of the equation. All right. You could change that to slope-intercept form, this to slope-intercept form by getting y by itself. All right. So you'd add 5 and negative 2x over and have 3y equals negative 2x plus 5. Divide by 3. Y equals 2/3 x plus 5/3. Actually, that's a minus, by the way. Minus 2/3 x. Okay, and that gives you your slope, mx plus b. All right, so that you can change general form to slope-intercept form or slope-intercept form to general form very easily. Vertical line is going to have an equation x equal to something. All right, because if, say, we have x equal to 2, no matter what value you plug in, you're always going to get 2 for x. Same thing with the horizontal line. All right, y equal to 5. No matter what value you choose for x, y is going to be 5. They don't give you an option. Okay? And point slope form we use to help ourselves get from when we have a slope and a point to get to slope intercept form. So y minus y1 equals the slope times x minus x1. Okay. I provided the definition of slope in case you've forgotten the change in y over the change of x, or y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. You can have 4 cases for slope. All right, you can have a positive slope that runs in this direction. You can have a negative slope that would run in the opposite direction, like so. So a positive slope would go in a positive direction up, and a positive direction would be a positive over a positive. Whoops, a positive over a positive. A negative slope would be if you go up over here, you have to have a positive over negative, or if you go down, you have a negative for your rise is a negative and your run is a positive. So your up or down is negative and your right or left is positive. That would give you a negative slope because a positive divided by a negative is a negative number. You can also have a slope of 0. A slope of 0 is just a horizontal line. That's why up top for a horizontal line, the equation was y equal to some number. I think they call it a or b, whatever they called it. The reason for that is because it doesn't have a slope. All right, so another way you could write it is y equals 0 times x, because 0 would be the slope, plus a. Okay, so that's the slope of 0. An undefined slope would just be a horizontal line. Or, sorry, a vertical line. Okay? If you think about that, a undefined means that your rise, you're going, say we're going up 1, but we're not going to the left or right or anything. We're going to the left or right 0. You can never in a million years have 0 on the denominator. That's why it's undefined. When 0 is on the denominator, we have it undefined. Okay? Example 1. Find the equation of a line that has a slope of 3 and passes through the points 1, negative 2. All right, well, we have a slope and a point, which would lead you to believe we need to use point-slope form. So we need to use y minus y1 equals the slope times x minus x1. So I'm going to go y plus 2, because I cross the line and change the sign, equals 3 times x minus 1. If I multiply, if I distribute first, y plus 2 equals 3x minus 3. Subtract 2, y equals 3x minus 5. That would be the equation in slope-intercept form of a line that passes through the point 1, negative 2, and a slope of 3. Parallel lines. Two lines are parallel if and only if their slopes are equal. So if I were to have a parallel line to the line that we just found, all right, we'd have to have a slope of 3. All right, and then go through any other point. Perpendicular line are two lines that have opposite reciprocal slopes, or negative reciprocal slopes. So if I wanted a perpendicular line to our equation that we just found up here, all right, the slope of that line is m equal to 3. The negative reciprocal would be, we flip it, so it'd be 1 over 3, and we take the negative of it. So we have a slope of negative 1/3. That would be the perpendicular slope. All right. So example 2. Find the general forms of the equation of the lines that pass through the point 2, -1 and are parallel. Okay, so they're giving us our point. All right, we need it to be parallel to this line. We got to figure out what the slope is. So I'm going to subtract. I'm going to get this into mx plus b form. This is how you don't have to do it this way. This is how I like to do it. Plus 5 divided by -3. So y equals a positive 2/3 x minus 5/3. Okay, so if I want it to be parallel, my slope has to be 2/3, and I'm going to plug it in to slope-intercept form. So y plus 1 equals 2/3 times x minus 2. Distribute y plus 1 equals 2/3 x minus 4/3. And add my 1 over y equals 2/3 x. If we add 1, which would be 3, we have a negative 1/3. All right, add 1, it'd be 3 over 3. Okay, negative 1/3. All right, so we want it to be perpendicular. Looks like they gave us the same equation. We already figured that the slope was 2/3, so the perpendicular slope. So the perpendicular slope is going to be -3/2, the opposite reciprocal or the negative reciprocal. Again, we do the same thing and plug it into point slope form. So y plus 1 equals -3/2 x minus 2. All right, so y plus 1, we're going to distribute first, -3/2 x plus 6 over 2, which would be 3. Oops, which would be 3. And then we're going to subtract our 1, so y equals -3/2 x plus 2. That would be the line that's perpendicular. And I guess if you read the entire directions, it wants the general form of the equation. General form of the equation, if you notice, we need to get the x, we need to get everything on one side. Also in general form of the equation, they don't like fractions too much. So we're going to bring everything over to one side of the equation. So I'm going to have -2/3 x plus y plus 1/3 equals 0. They don't like fractions, so let's multiply everything by 3. So we'll have -2x plus 3y plus 1 equals 0. That would be the general form of the equation. All right, same thing for the other one. Get everything to the same side. So we'll have 3/2 x plus y minus 2 equals 0. They don't like fractions, so get rid of the 2 by multiplying everything by 2. So we'll have 3x plus 2y minus 4 equals 0. Okay, that would be the general forms of the equation. Okay, have a good night.